Hello everyone, my name is Sarvin from class DEE 1B. My metric number is 10DEE21F1004. And this is my friend, his name is Shaidi. Shaidi, can you introduce yourself?
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sarvin.
Sarvin.
My
My
name
name
is
is
Muhammad
Muhammad
Rushidillo.
Rushidillo.
My
My
metric
metric
number
number
is
is
10
10
DEE
DEE
21
21
FY
FY
006.
006.
Today, my
Today, my
friend
friend
Sarvin
Sarvin
and
and
I
I
going to
going to
present
present
a
a
subtopic
subtopic
about
about
the
the
fundamental
fundamental
of
of
trigonometric
trigonometric
functions.
functions.
So,
So,
this
this
is
is
trigonometric
trigonometric
function.
function.
Sin
Sin
theta
theta
equals
equals
x.
x.
The
The
second
second
is
is
cos
cos
theta
theta
equals
equals
y.
y.
The
The
third
third
is
is
tan
tan
theta
theta
equals
equals
y
y
over
over
x.
x.
So
So
number
number
4
four
is
is
cosec
cosec
theta
theta
equals
equals
1 over
1 over
x.
x.
Lastly,
Lastly,
sec
sec
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
y.
y.
So
So
next,
next,
uh,
uh,
this is
this is
basic
basic
formula
formula
that we
that we
need
need
in
in
order to
order to
find the
find the
value of
value of
sin,
sin,
cos,
cos,
and
and
tangent.
tangent.
So the
So the
first
first
is
is
sin
sin
theta
theta
equals
equals
opposite
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 over
over
hypotenuse.
hypotenuse.
The
The
second
second
is
is
cos
cos
theta
theta
equals
equals
adjacent
adjacent
over
over
hypotenuse.
hypotenuse.
The
The
third
third
is
is
tan
tan
theta
theta
equals
equals
opposite
opposite
over
over
adjacent.
adjacent.
And the
And the
net
net
is
is
cos
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 theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
sin
sin
theta.
theta.
Sec
Sec
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
cos
cos
theta.
theta.
Cot
Cot
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
tan
tan
theta.
theta.
So
So
next,
next,
sin
sin
theta
theta
equals to
equals to
opposite
opposite
over
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 hypotenuse
hypotenuse
equals
equals
12
12
over
over
20.
20.
So the
So the
answer
answer
is
is
3
3
over
over
5.
5.
Cos
Cos
theta
theta
equals
equals
adjacent
adjacent
over
over
hypotenuse
hypotenuse
equals
equals
16
16
over
over
20
20
over
over
20.
20.
So the
So the
answer
answer
is
is
4 over
4
5.
over 5.
Tan
Tan
theta
theta
equals
equals
opposite
opposite
over
over
adjacent
adjacent
equals
equals
12
12
over
over
16.
16.
So the
So the
answer
answer
is 3
is
over
3 over
4.
4.
So the
So
net
the net is
cosec
cosec
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
sin
sin
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
12
12
over
over
20
20
equals
equals
20
20
over
over
12.
12.
So the
So the
answer
answer
is
is
5
5
over
over
3.
3.
Sec
Sec
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
cos
cos
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
16
16
over
over
20
20
equals
equals
20
20
over
over
16.
16.
So the
So the
answer
answer
is
is
5
5
over
over
4.
4.
Cot
Cat
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
tan
tan
theta
theta
equals
equals
1
1
over
over
12
12
over
over
16
16
equals
equals
16
16
over
over
12.
12.
So the
So the
answer
answer
is
is
4
4
over
over
3.
3.
So next
So next,
7.
Alvin.
Okay, thank you, Shadi, for your basic formula that we need in order to find the values. And next is the basics formulas of graphics, the graphic of sine, cos, and tangent. So you need to know all of these graph. In secondary school, usually in Form 4, Form 5, we learn the basics. For example, for graph sin is y equals to sin x. Graph cos is y equals to cos x, while graph tangent is y equals to tan x. So these are the basics that what we learn in secondary school. But here we already reached college, so we need to learn more complex than what we learned before. So as you can see, these are the these are the graphs that you need to not just to memorize, but need to understand. Because in the future, there will be a lot of questions, a lot of equations. So based on that equation, you really need to understand are these graphs. Okay, let's go to the questions, shall we? So these are the questions. So as you can see, the question are according to the equation. For example, y equals to 3 minus sin 2x for 0 less than x and x less than 2 pi. So you need to build, you need to really understand. For example, this 3 in front of here, this y equals to 3, this 3 actually, the wave need to be crossed along with the y, while the sin x2 is actually the addition of 2. So that's why the 2 need to be the 2 need to be on the end. So as you can see, actually across the 2, and then it across also on the 4 because you need to plus 2. So that's how you need to build the graph. As goes to the question number B, which is y equals to negative tan x. So if it, according to the graph on the before this, all of the graph right here, you need to be based on all of these graph in order to answer these questions. So as you can see, these right here, if you see the tangent y equals to tan x, it's actually going up from down to up. But when it comes to negative, it goes up to down. So that's how you need to identify. So the last but not least, question C, which is y equals to cos 2x in underline, as you can see. So if you see it properly, y equals to 1 cos x. But the only difference is cos 2x. So as you can see, it goes like a wave, but not as same as y equals to sin x. It goes only up. So, and that is why the wave are almost similar as y equals to 1 cos x. Next is positive and negative values of trigonometric function. So these also one of the subtopic that we learn in our secondary school. You see, for me, I just used a simple formula, ASTC, which is known as Aku Suka Teh Cina. These are the short formula that I learned in my secondary school in order to understand each and similar section. A is for all, which is sin, cos, tan are positive. S is for sin, which is only sin is positive while the rest of cos and tangent are negative. And Teh, tan is only positive while the sin and cos are negative. And last but not least is cos, which is Cina. Cos is positive and tan and sin are negative. So these are the these are the basics that you need to learn actually before you continue the next subtopic. So question number 1 is sin 40. As you can see, it reached until 40, and you see whether it is positive or negative. So as you can see, quadrat 1 is actually all of them are positive, sin, cos and tan. So as you can see, the answer is positive. Question B is tan 260. Excuse me. Tan 260, as you can see, it's landed on 10 on Tan, which is aku suka teh, it landed on Tan. Tan indicates positive while the rest are negative. And as you can see, it is Tan, so the answer is positive. C is Tan 315. It landed on C, which is China. Cos is positive while rest are negative. But the C is actually showing Tan, but it landed on cos. So which means the answer are negative. Last but not least is sine in bracket negative 24. Okay, you don't have to be so confused. When the value is positive, you have to go counterclockwise, just like A, B, and C. When you see negative, you have to go when it's positive, you need to go counterclockwise, while in negative, you need to go clockwise. Okay, once you go clockwise, it is at C. Aku suka teh Cina, it's on C. So cos is positive, while the rest are negative. Sin and tangent are negative. But here in the question, it says sine. So the answer is negative. So next I'll be passing this to Shairi.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sarvi.
Sarvi.
This
This
is
is
the
the
formula
formula
we
we
need
need
to
to
find the
find the
value
value
of
of
reference
reference
angle.
angle.
So
So
quadrant
quadrant
1,
1,
quadrant
quadrant 1,
1 reference
reference
angle
angle
equals
equals
theta.
theta.
And the
And the
next
next
quadrant
quadrant
2
2,
reference
reference
angle
angle
equals
equals
180
180
degree
degree
minus
minus
theta.
theta.
Quadrant
Quadrant
3
3,
reference
reference
angle
angle
equals
equals
theta
theta
minus
minus
180
180
degree.
degree.
Quadrant
Quadrant
4
4,
quadrant
quadrant
4
4,
reference
reference
angle
angle
equals
equals
360
360
degree
degree
minus
minus
theta.
theta.
And
And
the
the
next
next
is
is
question
question
of
of
reference
reference
angle.
angle.
Theta
Theta
equals
equals
100
100
degree.
degree.
Reference
Reference
angle
angle
equals
equals
180
180
degree
degree
minus
minus
theta.
theta.
180
180
degree
degree
minus
minus
100
100
degree.
degree.
So the
So the
answer
answer
is
is
80
80
degree.
degree.
So next.
So next.
Okay, thank you, Shairi, for the explanation on reference angle. So finally, we have come to the classified, where the last is going to be very tough because you need some basics that what we have explained before in order to solve these types of equation. So so the title is 2.1.5 is the values of the trigonometric function. So to solve these equations, these questions, you just need two things. Just like what Shaidi explained, which is the formula, which is the 2.1.4, the reference angle. So you need these formula. And also I did explain this 2.1.3, positive and negative values of trigonometric function. So you need to understand these two basics in order to do these questions, the value of the trigonometric function. So there are 4 steps. I'm gonna show you step by step how to solve these questions. Let's jump right in. So the first question is cos theta equals to 0.5. Okay, step 1 is to solve the equation given. So you solve it, and then step 2, so you have to solve the step 1, which is the solve the equation given. So reference equals to cos -1 equals to 0.5. So at the end of the day, you already got the value of the reference angle. Okay. Step 3 is to draw to make sure that you understand. So you draw the reference angle in graphic to make you understand that how does this, the flow of the answers to really understand. And then step 4 is to find the value of the angle. Just like Shaidi told you before, the formulas of the reference angle. Okay, in quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Okay, so since it asks for cos, so you need to find the cos positive, which quadrant that is classified. So, aku suka teh Cina. In first quadrant, everything is positive, and that is why we pick formula for quadrant 1. And then last but not least, in quadrant 4, we pick cos because it is positive there. And that is why there's formula for quadrant 1 and formula for quadrant 4. So formula for quadrant 1 is reference angle equals to theta, so theta equals to 60 degree. While formula for quadrant 4, it is theta equals to 360 minus reference angle. So 360 minus 60 equals to 300 degree. So as you can see, the finalized answer is value of the degrees are 60 and another one is 300. So that is for question A. Question B is 2 sin theta minus 1 equals to 0. So first step to find the equation, to uh, solve the equation and find the reference angle. So as you can see, 2 minus reference angle equals to 1. Sine angle equals to 1 over 2. Sine reference angle equals to 0.5. You need to change from fraction to decimal. So at the end of the day, reference angle equals to sin -1 because you already brought it to the other side. Sin -1 times 0.5 equals to 30 degree. So like I said, it is sin. So which side are positive? In A, aku, and in quadrant 2, which is aku suka, S. S is positive. So quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. So you need to find the angles. So formula for quadrant 1 is reference angle equals to theta equals to 30 degree. And then formula for quadrant 2, which is 180 minus reference angle. So 180 minus 30 equals to 150. And do not forget step 3. I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. And what I told you is actually step 4 to find the angle. And step 3, you need to draw the reference angle in graph. Yeah, do not forget to draw it because that is also counted as a mark. Okay, last but not least is question 3, which is tan. It's a very when it comes to tan, it's very difficult and tricky question, but we can do this. We can solve one by one. So 3 tan x minus cot x equals to 2. As we've seen in 2.1.1, the basic formula, Shaidi has been told us that cot theta equals to 1 over tan theta. So cot x is actually equals to 1 over tan theta. And that is why how it converted to 1 over tan x. So 3 tan x minus 1 tan x equals to 2. And then 3 tan squared x minus 1 over tan x equals to 2. Then we change it into a equation. So equation, for example, x squared plus x equals to ab sorry ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. So you need to change it into that equation. So at the end of the day, you got tan x equals to negative 1 over 3 and another value which is tan x equals to 1. So you need to solve one by one. So that's because of two values. So at the end of the day, when it comes to the angles, there are four values. If you see this previous question that I've told you, one value comes with one value that have been given in reference angle given as two value. For example, in question 1, what the reference angle is 60 and there's two answers at the end of the question, at the end of the answers, which is 60 degree and 300 degree. But now there's two, which is we already know there's going to be four different kind of degree. So we do the first one. So first, as usual, follow the steps, solve the equation and find the reference angle, which is 18.43 degree, and do not forget step 3, which is to draw the reference angle in graph. Okay, and then what you do is step 4, which is formula for quadrat 3 and quadrat 4. And you can ask me why you didn't pick quadrat 1 and quadrat 4, because it is positive. It should be positive, but as you can see, the value of the tangent x equals to negative 1 over 3. And that is why, because of it's not in positive, I can't pick quadrat 1 and quadrat 4. Therefore, I need to pick, quadrat 1 and quadrat 3. So therefore, I need to pick quadrat 2 and quadrat 4 because the value is in negative. So after that, what you have to do is follow the formula 180 minus reference angle. So you get 161.57 degree. While in formula 4, quadrat 4, 360 minus reference angle is equals to 341.47. So you already got the two value for the tangent, negative 1 over 3. Next is the second equation, which is tan x equals to 1. Okay. So reference angle, as usual, you follow the step 1 and step 2, which is solve the equation and find the value. Solve the equation and find the reference angle. And then step 3, which is draw the graph angle in graph. And then last but not least, follow the step 4, which is find the value of the angle. So formula 1 for quadrat 1, which is theta equals to reference angle. So theta equals to 45. And then formula for quadrat 4, which is theta equals to 360 minus reference angle. And the answer is 315. So to sum up everything, there's four types of value in angles. The first one is 18.43 degree. The second, sorry about that. The first one is 161.57 degree. The second is 341.57 degree. The third is 45 degree. And the last but not least is 315 degree. So thank you for watching and have a nice day.